I heard they found his body in the barn, drowned. Literally in a pool of his own blood.
I noticed that several times during Mass, she refused to take communion. I bet she prefers her communion with the devil himself.
Père Mathieu told me that at first they believed that to be of natural causes. But closer examination.
My very own Jean-Claude went alone to pay respects.
Puis qu'est-ce qu'il a dit?
What did he say happens? Rien. Nothing. Between you and me, I think she bewitched him. It was weeks before he was the same.
Murder. All in cold blood. They said our plans were cunning and meticulous.
I can't believe it. We were playmates as children. I never did notice anything odd about her. But now that you mention it...
Stop! I can take no more. These walls have eyes that record my deeds and prophesize my fate, and ears that hear my prayers but offer no absolution, and tongues that spit out my jugement final in their endless recounting of my past. They accuse me of walking hand in hand with Lucifer himself. They would not believe me that I had no such knowledge of the divine, nor do I make it my acquaintance. My sins, my desires, they are carnal. The shadows of my deeds are pale shadows to me now, pale only as moonlight is pale, visible to all. Perhaps you see it too. You there, what do you see? Have my eyes, these rumored bewitching treasures of Satan, have they become so transparent? Or perhaps you are only curious. Perhaps you have had these thoughts too, that sinister ache for freedom, the desire to sever the ties that bind you, to tear your invisible strings from heaven and fall to hell in the execution of one perfect, pure act of free will. Do you wonder what lies on the other side? Then I am only too happy to indulge you. But listen closely, my new friends, for they will come for me soon. And then, when the heavy weight of rumors buries my story deep into the ground with my bones, you alone will be a witness to my tale. It was in his peaceful sleep. Peace. I had none. In the waking world, I learned to loathe him quickly. Charles Bouchard, the exemplary citizen, the true patriot, who in actuality was a poor lover and of weak character, an average man. But a fine match, so said my papa. I was called La Belle des Belles de 10 paroisses à la ronde, the beauty of beauties of 10 surrounding parishes, and we were married in the spring of 1749 in the Chapelle de la Vierge, under the glorious ringing of a new church bell recently imported from France. In the waking world, he made up for mediocrity the way most do, working hard, dependably, a source of basic material provisions and material stability for myself and our future children. And in 4 years of marriage, there was nothing remarkable nor unusual about our union, save the lack of tiny rosy cheeks and fine blonde heads in our own. We had yet to have a child. There was no choice. I was never given one. And so I exercised my will in keeping Charles out of my bed. I did not understand there was a real choice I might make. But in time, I began to. In the way he suffered and collapsed under a fever that spread through our village the first winter we were together. In the rigidity of his bones, where his wrist once cracked upon a nasty fall. In the fragility of his life, I found a choice. It was in his peaceful sleep that I stood quietly by the fire, melting down the lead piping that ran through our home. And in his peaceful sleep that I poured thick black liquid gently into our slender spouted kettle. It was in his peaceful sleep that I crept nocturnal to the bed where his last breaths were rising in unison to his naked midnight breathing voice. And in his peaceful sleep that I poured the lead into his ear and stood as witness as his eyes shot open, filling with shock for one brief moment before the lead settled to his brain. And so you see I lied, for he was quite awake when he died. They kept me in a small, dark cell as they mounted the case against me. Bodies were exhumed. Progressive coroners and British officers were brought in to collect evidence. In daytime, I was visited often by my papa in unwavering sympathy, and the priest, Le Père Clapillon, who implored me to confess my sins to God in order that I might receive some absolution in the next world. At night, I had only the ghostly, ravaged spirit of my dead husband to keep me company.
It was only a moment between the time I felt the scalding hot liquid in my ear and when it reached my brain. Only a moment to look one last time upon my world, my wife, and to understand what was happening. But I shall spend my eternity in that moment, feeling my senses extinguished one by one, my eyes, the only accusation to my lover. Plomb, lead, plomb liquide, liquid lead. This is all that defines me in death.
Maman, est-ce qu'on est perdu?
Non, ma chérie.
Maman, la nuit va bientôt tomber. Il commence à faire froid.
Je sais, ma chérie.
Maman, regardez ici. C'est quoi, maman? Maman, c'est quoi?
C'est la Corriveau.
La Corriveau? C'est qui la Corriveau?
C'était une femme diabolique. Elle n'avait pas de respect pour son mari. Elle a désobéi à la loi. Et elle a péché contre Dieu.
Oh, elle n'a plus de cheveux. Et ses mains sont vieilles et noueuses. Elle a l'air d'avoir 100 ans. Qu'est-ce qu'elle a fait pour pécher contre Dieu?
Ah, ma chérie, ce n'est pas une histoire pour les jeunes. C'était une mauvaise femme, puis elle a bien été punie. Elle a été suspendue dans cette cage et laissée là jusqu'à sa mort. Le village continue de garder la cage pour dissuader d'autres gens qui ont peut-être des idées diaboliques.
Maman, j'ai froid. Est-ce qu'on peut y aller?